Welcome with Mr. Tully's class.
Hello and welcome back to Learning Virtually Online with Mr. Macaulay. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use host controls in Zoom to both activate a waiting room and also to use that waiting room in a live meeting to make sure everything in your meeting is as secure as possible. So what you need to do is you need to start at zoom.us, the website. I am going to provide a link to that in this video. What I recommend you do is to complete all of this waiting room function on the website itself. It's far easier and quicker, but you can also actually do this within the downloaded application. For example, if you're working on a Windows PC or MacBook or even a Chromebook. But again, the easiest place to do this is on the website. Now, what you're going to do when you get here is click My Accounts. And once you click My Accounts, you're then going to go to Meetings here. So again, My Account, and then on the left side, you're going to click Meetings. What I want you to do is click Schedule a Meeting. Okay, My Meeting, here's the day. Scrolling down, what I want you to do, that's a passcode, don't need that, but what I do want you to have here is the waiting room. This waiting room will require that every student who tries to enter your room has to get approval from you to get admittance. Another really important feature that you can do is also make sure that you require authentication. Specifically, this is sign in with a TDSB account. Once both of those features have been activated and you've selected your meeting time, you can then go to the bottom and click Save. Now, let's say you want to modify a meeting and actually go back and change the settings specifically to create a waiting room or to require authentication. What you can do, again, in the My Meetings area, look for the day. So I'm going to click Today. When you scroll over top the meeting, so in this case, My Meeting, you can click Edit. And then you're going to end up back on the screen. And in this case, I want to turn on this waiting room. It's not there. And I want to require authentication. So again, you can do this even after you actually created the meeting. You can turn these features on. Now, alternatively, what you can do, you can actually do this all within Zoom itself. Specifically, I mean Zoom application. So here we have My Meeting, Edit, and then it's going to bring up these controls, which allows you to create the waiting room, allows you to require authentication, and it's all the same here. Where am I doing this? This is in the downloaded application for Zoom on your browser. Now, for the second part of this video, what we're going to look at is specifically how we can use this waiting room that we've created to ensure that you have a secure meeting. So we're going to do that by now opening a meeting that I already have created in progress. Here, open up. Now, you'll see because I activated the waiting room feature, when Aaron Burr tried to join my meeting, he automatically was put here and he was not allowed to join the class. Now, you might ask why a former vice president and murderer of Alexander Hamilton wants to join my meeting. I have the same question, so I'm going to ask him. How am I going to do that? Here in the bottom right-hand corner, I'm going to click To and message people in the waiting room, and I'm going to say, hello, Mr. Vice. Why would you like to join my meeting? Please email me here. And then I'm going to put in my TDSV email that I'm just going to keep out of this video. By doing that, you're basically trying to figure out who the heck this person is. Now, depending on how you set up your settings, perhaps this is a student who's logging in using their brother or sister's account by accident, or perhaps something else. I'm not entirely sure why, but in this case, we have almost 200 former vice president who's been dead for almost 200 years. So in all likelihood, we're going to have no logical reason to admit him to the meeting. Now, let's say we find out that Aaron Burr is actually my newest student to the class, and I'd forgotten that, and they remind me through email. What I can do is I can then hover over their name, and I can admit them in. And you'll see, and then it'll take a moment, and then you're going to see Aaron Burr in the meeting. There you go. There's the ding dong saying Aaron Burr is here. Okay, so now for the final feature to look at is what we can do if Aaron Burr shouldn't have been there to begin with and we accidentally admitted them. Or I'm going to show you what I like to call the penalty box with my kids, which is just like a cool out time for a little bit of inappropriate behavior, and it gives them a chance to just kind of take a break, relax, and then join the class ready to learn. So the first thing I'm going to show you is what I like to call the penalty box. Zoom just calls it the waiting room, but I'm not the biggest fan of that name. So the waiting room is a place you can actually put someone back into even after they've joined the meeting. So what you can do is scroll over their name. So here we go. We have the former Vice President, Aaron Burr. Click More, put back into waiting room. Now, the principal way that I use this primarily is if I have a student who's behaving a little bit inappropriately, maybe spamming the chat, spamming meaning just messaging too much, maybe they're goofing around with their camera, and after I've given them a few warnings and reminders about what is acceptable behavior, I then put them back into the waiting room, or as I refer to it, the penalty box. What I then do is I don't like to keep them too long because I don't want to exclude them from learning. The main purpose of this is to just kind of get a chance for them to refresh, refocus, and then come back to the room ready to learn. What I can then do, like before, I can message in the waiting room, and I have a bunch of different ways the students can get in touch with me outside of Zoom. So I say, please message me in Hangouts when you are ready. Take a quick breather. Step away from the screen and come back ready to learn. Now, the students in my class know of numerous ways to get in touch with me outside of Zoom. This is something that you would have to figure out what works best for you in terms of how you communicate with your students. Now, let's say it's been a minute. I get that Google Hangouts message from Aaron Burr saying he's ready to learn and he's focused. I am then going to, like I did before, admit him back to the meeting. Now, let's say there's been someone who entered your meeting that is not supposed to be there. For example, maybe you had a long list of names in the waiting room and you just kept clicking accept, accept, accept because you had so many, or maybe by accident you admitted them in. Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to show you how you can deal with that. What I want you to do is scroll over their name, click More, and then Remove. Right away, it's going to say, remove Aaron Burr. Once removed, Aaron Burr will not be able to rejoin. So again, this is a feature you only want to deploy if there's someone in your meeting that should not be there. In this case, I'm like, yep, he is not supposed to be there. Goodbye, Aaron Burr. Okay, now with that, your Zoom room is far more secure. Okay, I hope this video was super helpful and instructive. And like always, good luck teaching online.